this is Dave once again, just to show you something different today. Just to show that I've had problems with this is my FX Impact. I bought it about 3 years ago, and I currently have on it the Nico Sterling Optic, which is the 1:9 by 40 sight. These are the lens covers. The reason I put this one on last week was I bought some new pellets, 177 pellets, which have usually been pretty good. And during the course of a session, they were going all over the place. So that to me meant either the rifle barrel was probably dirty, the optic that was on there previously had failed or come loose, or the pellets were a problem. So I took the rifle home, brought it home, cleared the barrel, stripped it all down, cleaned everything, and I took the old sight off and put this one back on, which is this Nico Sterling, which is my old sight. So what I'm going to do today, because I've put 1,000 pellets through my pellet sizer, the pellets that I found in the tins were a bit misshapen. So after finding that the accuracy of the rifle had returned, what I'm going to do now is to take this sight off, the Nico Sterling, and put on my original one, which I will show you in a moment. If I can find the right Allen key. That's the wrong one. There it is. Yeah, so these are just slightly nipped up. Now the optic underneath, the holders that go onto the rifle are the extended ones, because the bag that it used to go in wasn't quite big enough, so I had to change the holders to allow the bag to go for the bag to be used. So when I change the sight, which I'll be doing in a minute, all we do is take this one off, put the new one straight on, and then away we will go with the new one. I won't be able to sight it in here because I'm at home, currently in the conservatory, south facing of course, and it's currently it's quite warm today in here. Where's my thermometer? Where's it gone? There it is. It's currently 26 degrees. It's lovely to see a little bit of sun and warmth, especially this time of year, after such a grotty old winter. So here we go, we're almost there. Just take this last one off. Now for those of you that don't know, there's two sorts of air rifles. There's what they call a break barrel, the old style, where you crank the rifle butt and the barrel, which puts a spring in the rifle, and you need to do that every time that you need to shoot the rifle. But with a PCP, this one in particular is quite a sizable. There we go, that's the sight come off, it just comes off swiftly as that. And as you can see, it's got a tank, a big air tank here, this side. I'll show you it in a little while. And I can get 500 shots out of that without having to do any refill, which is really good. So it brings back the shootability of using a rifle without having to keep cranking the barrel. So this is the sight that will be going on. This is the one that was on there previously. This is a Hawk. This is quite a lot stronger. It's a 6:24 magnification. It's quite a bigger sight as well. I just need to remove these. These have to come off because these are for a different site, a different set of optics. I'll just put them on this one to keep them out of the way. It's all good stuff. This won't take long once the screws have been removed. It should take a second. And I also ordered from Amazon a new bag for this rifle, which will replace my hard case. So I shoot this over the outdoor range is 25 meters, 25 yards, sorry, 25 yard range outdoor. And with it being like it is now, it's going to be a lot more accurate without some of the winter wind coming through on the shooting field. Like I say, we shoot into a big bank of sand, which we have to dig out every so many weeks to retrieve the bullets or the lead, whatever. So that's basically where I want the new site to go. So all we need to do now is just to put the tops back on. One there. Oops. And one there. So we've got adjustment. This is windage left to right. This one is up and down. And there's on the back side here, which you can just see, there's a light that you can illuminate the target, which is a common feature nowadays on these sorts of optics. So I was quite pleased with this combination. It's apart from a couple of weeks ago when it suddenly started to not drift off a little bit, but it was a real flyer. You know, you couldn't get to sort of group at all. So I'll leave that loose so that in a few minutes I can just get the eye relief right on it without having to. The eye relief is between when you've got the butt to your shoulder and you look through this end, you look through this end, you should get about a 2-inch gap between the optic and your eye, so that when you look through you can see the whole of of what you see out of this end. This end is the far end, this is the open end. That's, I think it's 50mm or 60mm, so it's quite a big opening, so you get more light coming through, which is even better when you have low conditions to shoot. So just one more to go on. That will do nicely. So okay, so what I'll do, I'll just whip the camera off and I'll show you around the rifle quickly so you can have a quick look. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. So as you can see, it's a side load here. You cock this around, the magazine sits in there, it holds 22 shots. This is the regulator, which allows you to shoot no more than 12 foot-pounds, which is the legal requirement for not having a license on a PCP. If it was over 12 pounds, you would need an an FAC, firearms certificate, and this one tells you the level of what is actually in this tank. So this tank will allow me to shoot 500 pellets or a tin full before it needs to be refilled, which is pretty good. So looking on the top, it's the that's the top. I haven't put the moderator on it yet. Don't want to put that on just yet. The moderator or suppressor at the back end. So this is what I'll be doing in this short while. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll be back shortly. And so now we have the sight fitted. I'm going to put the moderator on the end, which is 1/2 inch UNF. This is the silencer. You can see that it's a Viroc 177. That goes on the end. There we are. Now we're ready to go, and I'll be checking this all out tomorrow at the range with the newly fitted sight, which is my previous one that was on. So I look forward to using this tomorrow morning and re-sighting everything in and business back as normal. See you in a minute. Okay, so this is the one of the reasons that I'd decided to look into why the rifle was not shooting as well as it should, or as well as it has been. This is one of the competition targets, and as you can see, from side to side, it's 450 millimeters, or about 17 3/4, and it's about 320 from top to bottom, or 12 and a half inches approximately, and between each of these center points from one to the other is 55 mil, or approximately 2 3/16. The outer these ones are sighters on both sides, so you can actually shoot at these just to re-zero the settings on your sights, just to make sure that you're on the bullseye. But what I was finding was that when I was shooting, say, this one for example, this is number 18, if I was to shoot at number 18, the pellet was actually going into this one. So it was drifting about 55 millimeters from here to here. So in this target, you would get one somewhere in the bullseye, but you would get one on the outer black circle, and it was drifting from this target over to this one by about 50 millimeters. So in my book, there's 3 possible things that could cause that. The obvious one is that the barrel might need to be cleaned. The second one is that the optic may have got knocked and damaged the accuracy of the crosshairs when you sight up. Or lastly, you could have problems with the pellets. So I brought the rifle home, and what I ended up doing was cleaning the rifle, the barrel, went through. I actually took off the Hawk sight that I had on the rifle to shoot originally, and I've also got one of these little things. It's called this is called a pellet pusher or a sizer. So what you do is you pop a pellet, you put one of the pellets in, you put one of the little pellets in here, and it goes down so far. You put the little pusher in, and then as you push it through, it makes sure that the pellet conforms to a particular size, which in this instance is, I don't know if you can see that, this one is 4.51. So it will round up any out of shape pellets It won't change the weight of the pellets, but I did measure the weight, and the weights were all consistent. So in the meantime, I did change the Hawk sight, which was on there, and I replaced it temporarily with the Nico, which I showed you yesterday, that I changed. So I went to the range this morning and changed the Hawk sight, put it on yesterday, as you know. I went down and zeroed in the rifle using the Hawk. And from that, I've concluded that the problem wasn't the accuracy of the sights. The sights were fine. The rifle may have been, the bore may have been a bit clogged or may have had a bit of dirt. Didn't appear to have. But the overwhelming problem that I did come across was that there was quite a discrepancy between the pellets. So as they all go in through the pellet pusher, some were pushed through just nice, a gentle push, but some needed a bit more of a substantial push. So it may well have been that I picked up a couple of dodgy tins of pellets. Normally the ones that I use I'm quite pleased with them, but on Friday I went out and bought another 2 tins of these pellets. Now they work out at £16 a tin, 500. The ones I use are the .177 caliber or 4.5, and the ones I prefer in my rifle are 9.56 grains, and we shoot these targets over 25 meters. So you're looking at the target that we use in our club into competition, and you can see that each is numbered, like this is number 1, so you're allowed 1 shot in each of these 25. So it goes from number 1 to number 25. You're allowed 1 shot in each of those targets. The 2 outer rings on left and right are for spotting in, and you can shoot as many as you want to on those. But the competition begins from the number 1 to number 25 rings. So that sums up why I changed the sights originally after experiencing the problem. And I deduced that the problem was that the pellets were a bit inconsistent with their shape. So I put them all through. Each one has been put through the pellet pusher, and in the tin that I just showed you, there was about 400 in that tin left, and on Friday I bought another 1,000. I bought another 2 tins, and yesterday I pushed all those through the little pellet pusher. So I should now have about 1,400 consistent pellets. So I re-zeroed today at the range. I'm very happy with the consistency, and I put it down now to the problem that I had was with the inconsistency of the pellets, the shape of the pellets, not the weights. The weights are fine. It's just the inconsistency of the pellets. So now we'll go on now back into the main video, and you can see what I did yesterday. But like I say, I just wanted to change out the optics and see if there was a problem with the optics. So by deduction, it wasn't the optic, it wasn't the rifle barrel, it was the inconsistency of the pellets. So we're back on track now. So this will be the target that I'll be shooting on Tuesday when we begin the next round of the club into competition. So I'm looking forward to doing quite well. So we're onward now, and I'll show you now into the next part of what happened yesterday.